Hey guys, Jesse with Mile High Freshwater. Just wanted to do a short video today and show you how I do water changes on my 210 gallon fish tank. The reason why I'm doing this is some of you may be wondering how I do this, or you may be purchasing a large tank in the future and you want to know how easy it is or not easy this is to do. So the way I do it, in the summertime I actually run my hose out the door and water plants. We do a little garden, we got a lot of rose bushes, and let me tell you, you run this water into a rose bush and that bush will be taller than your house. Just saying. Rose bushes love fish water. The end. So anyway, point being is summertime I run all the water outside and water plants just so I can reuse it. But during the winter, I actually don't run the water outside because it creates a huge mess. The water freezes on the lawn, the dog tracks it in. When it melts, it's just a disgusting mess. So anyway, I'm going to show you the equipment that I use and give you an idea of where the water goes, how I refill it, so on and so forth. So you'll see I'm using two hoses. One of them actually is a gravel vac that I had laying around. I think I actually got it with this fish tank, but I don't actually vacuum the sand in this tank. It actually stays really clean because the flow from my spray bars actually keeps it nice and clean. So you'll see I'm using two different hoses. The reason being is the siphon, the gravel siphon, is not quite fast enough for a tank this size, so I also use this submersible pump, which I had laying around. I think it came with this tank when I bought it. I don't know what model it is. All I know is it's faster at siphoning water than the gravel siphon is. So I want to show you where I drain everything to. So you may have remembered I told you that we remodeled a lot of stuff in our house. One of the spots being the laundry area, which is right here. It is directly behind the fish tank. So you'll see I've got my hoses run across the floor. We actually got kind of lucky that there was a floor drain in here in this room. So we actually had our main drain from the house, or from the upstairs, runs down here and underneath. We actually had all this ripped out, all the concrete, and had to redo all the piping because the slope was actually going uphill instead of down. So that's why I have a brand new floor drain, brand new bathroom. Did all the bathroom myself. Thank you. So anyway, I run the pipes down the floor drain. Super easy to do. This actually has just a Phillips screw that holds the grate in. I take the grate off. You can leave the grate on if you want. If you can't take yours off, whatever. But this just creates less of a mess because the water will go straight down the drain instead of getting all over the floor, which actually I made a mess on one of my video takes earlier and got water all over the place. But anyway, so the way I refill the water, I actually made sure in our new bathroom that, yes, that's a picture of me fishing, and got a nice little fishing theme going on here. I made sure that this faucet we got had a removable aerator. A lot of these bathroom faucets have the internal aerator that you can only take the aerator out and you can't take the whole aerator housing off. So you got to make sure that you have a faucet that you can take the whole housing off, because then you can get a hose adapter, a regular garden hose adapter. So this fits right on there, and then there's threads on here for a garden hose. Makes it super easy, and it makes it easy to regulate the temperature going back into the fish tank. On my tank, since it's so big, you know, perfect water temperature matching isn't that critical because it's a huge amount of water. but you may have a smaller tank, and you need to make sure that the water matches, or the temperature matches closely. So start draining it. Always make sure, actually I made a mistake a little bit ago, forgot to unplug my sump. I have a sump underneath of here, which I need to do a review of that pump, which I will come up with here sometime soon. But you need to make sure that you unplug that before you start draining your tank, because it'll actually just start draining the water out of the sump instead of the fish tank. So make sure you unplug that, all the water drains down to the sump, and then you can get to going on this. So once I get some more water drained here a little bit, I will show you how I refill it, and that will be it. But I get a little bit of a leak here because I don't have that rubber gasket in there, but that's why it's in a sink. Actually, it might be the hose connection itself, to tell you the truth. So it looks like it's coming from underneath. Anyway, so I get the water going. Actually, this gives me, I didn't even think about that, but it gives me a good opportunity to test the water temperature. Make sure it's what I want it. Alright, so you'll see new water going into the tank as the siphon's still going, just because it gives me a little bit extra water change, but I'll go ahead and take that out. And I just check a few times just to make sure the water's the same, which actually this is a bit cold, so we'll go back. Now once I do my other project, which I know some of you may heard my other video, I'm going to set up an automatic water change system, because this is fine for this tank, but once you get multiple tanks going, and that's too warm now. Once you get multiple tanks going, it's pretty difficult to keep on top of the water changes. So I'd like to automate it a little bit, so you don't have to make as many trips. I mean, I already don't use buckets for this thing, which is nice, but that's about right. Yeah, it's about right. That going, and obviously until the tank fills up, I'll throw some prime right next to where the water's going in, just so it mixes in properly. And that's how I do my water changes on my big tank. If you guys have any more questions on how this works, or I'm going to do another video on the pump itself, which may include how I built the sump. But if you have any questions on how this system works, just let me know in the comments of this video, and we can go over it. But other than that, thanks for watching my video, and make sure that you check out my other videos. I do product reviews. I'd like to do some Q&As every once in a while, so again, if you have any questions about this stuff. But otherwise, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Otherwise, I will see you next time.